Ladies and gentlemen, recorded at Grim Reaper Studios, located somewhere at the base of the beautiful Blue Mountains in eastern Oregon. It's Sonomans Sideshow, and I'm your host, Les the Snowman Kinnear, and joining me, as usual, the man, the myth, the legend, Joe Burns. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Sonomans Sideshow.
All right.
Impact.
Excellent. Here we go.
Yeah.
I forgot one little thing I got to do here. But we're golden. All right,
Do not tell me we missed all that.
No, we didn't. I just wanted to turn the echo off there a little bit.
That was gloriousness in a pressure-sealed can, my friend.
It's a top-notch production here, okay? That's live music. You just don't get that anywhere else.
You really don't.
You really don't.
You know where you do get it? Sonomans Sideshow.
That makes me think of on that my soundboard there. You know, I have those little things that you can do sounds, and I had a bunch of you. I mean, like my original intro was, God, what did you do? You said, you had the Christopher Walken.
Oh yeah,
you did a part of that, you know, and I used that, and
hey, that's good news.
Yeah, I think that I'll have you do that for when we do Strange News. You'll just go, hey. Strange news. But, all right, what have you been up to since the last episode?
I'm out of the boot.
Lovely.
I'm wearing a normal shoe on my foot. I still have it's still a little sore and tender at times, but doing good. I am returning to work on Tuesday.
Boo.
Yeah, where's your little boo button on there?
Yeah.
No, I'm actually looking forward to it. I
ready?
I need to move around and interact with people, and
I know that's after being home for 5 years, working from home for 5 years.
I know
I'm not sure if I can go back. You know, like
right. I've only been home for 2 months, so that's, But I was home for like 2.5 years, and then went back. That was an odd transition.
Yes,
it really was.
Pros and cons.
Definitely, for sure.
We touched a little bit. Let's see, what do I got coming up? I got excited this weekend. I've got not this weekend, next weekend. Coulter Wall, look him up. He's a pretty big star out of Canada, coming through Pendleton at the Vert Auditorium, and so me and the kids are going, and so I'm looking forward to that. That's this weekend, so I'm not going to be able to watch the UFC fights, which are some big fights on there. Jamal Hill and Yuri Prohaska, that's the one I really wanted to see, but not going to be able to see that. Football, we're both done. You know, Chargers are done.
Seahawks never even made the playoffs.
So, I mean, Chargers didn't even show up.
Yeah.
Kicked a couple field goals, called it good.
I don't even know who to really go for, because obviously I don't want the Chiefs to win. Just because I want some. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go with the Bills. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Bills Mafia.
All right.
That's what I'm gonna jump on. It's been forever and a day since they made it to the big dance. I love Josh Allen. That dude is a beast.
Yeah.
That Buffalo fan base, they just seem like they'd be fun as hell to watch a football game with. So, yep, I'm gonna go Bills for the remainder of the season, as long as they remain.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, and then it's that time of year, right? We get ready for Super Bowl. Then after Super Bowl, all we care about is spring getting here.
Yeah, just more daylight, warmer weather.
Well, what's crazy around here, when you live in those colder climates, I'm sure everywhere, like baseball, like training camps and stuff start
next month.
Yeah.
Like, really? I know, it's crazy.
And so it's hard to believe that that's already here, but I'm happy. I'm very happy about that.
Well, you think about it. You're in, a month to 2 months or whatever we're gonna start seeing high school spring sports popping up. Like we're in basketball right now, but like just around the corner, we're gonna see, baseball, track and field, and all that.
I'm so out of touch with the NBA. I couldn't tell you what's going on anywhere.
Yeah. All I know is being a Blazers fan, it's just another year of disappointment. And I'm sure I think the Warriors are still pretty good. Let us know in the comments who's hanging up, because I'm not going to go look it up.
Hey, funny story though. You just reminded me of it. See, how do I want to tell the story? Somebody called my wife who and asked if it was me, and they were like, no, and they're like, oh, I'm trying to get a hold of Les, but they were trying to do it in an employment way, so it was really bizarre.
Right.
So I was telling my wife, I said, well, or apparently this person told my wife that she Googled me and was able to somehow get Wendy's number, and then I'm like, that's just bizarre, right? But whatever.
Odd.
So I took my phone and I Googled myself. Now, I know that, I've Googled myself before. I have the YouTube channel, so I have stuff out there, music and all that. So it's like, I get that, but I Googled it and trying to see, what she had seen. But I found this old article from, it had to have been 2008-ish or so, but they used to do these celebrity golf tournaments out at the Wild Horse Casino here. And what it started out was the Blazers alumni thing. And they would get together, and then they turned it into a celebrity golf tournament. So, but Lucas, I can't think of his first name. He was on the Blazers. He ran it, ran the whole program, and so they would bring all kinds of people in. And one year, I got Jerome Kersey.
Oh, very cool.
Off of
I got a Jerome Kersey story too. After you're done with your.
Oh, okay. So he was in town, and he came in town and did that several times after that. But I found my quote there because, of course, Big Steve also worked for the newspaper at the time, and he knew I was out there doing the thing, and so he came out and got me a quote, and I talked about Jerome, so it was kind of cool. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot, because I don't have that article or whatever. But anyways, what do you got?
So anyway, quite a few years back, I was deer hunting with my father-in-law up out of Wallowa County, and his good friend George, who lives down in the Portland area, came up with his son and grandson, George Jr., and I can't remember, for the life of me, can't remember what the grandson's name is. But anyway, at the time, that was very, very soon after Jerome had unexpectedly passed away.
Right.
And anyway, his son, George Jr., was divorced, and his baby mama was married to Jerome Kersey. So I essentially went deer hunting with Jerome Kersey's stepson, and it was kind of cool because I have a basketball that is signed by Jerome Kersey that I got when I was just a little kid. My dad took me to a basketball game, Blazers game. I think I was maybe 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Maybe younger or older, I don't know. But anyway, before the game, I went down with my little mini Blazers basketball, and a bunch of Blazers came through, and I got it signed. So I got Cliff Robinson, Terry Porter, Jerome Kersey,
Duckworth,
Kevin Duckworth, and I can't remember the other one. I didn't get Clyde. That was the one I really wanted to get, but I didn't get his autograph. But anyway, yeah, it was just kind of cool that it's a small world that and it's just kind of funny that Jerome Kersey comes to Eastern Oregon to play golf. I go from Eastern Oregon to Portland. I get his autograph. His stepson comes to Eastern Oregon to deer hunt. I go deer hunt with his stepson.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. And you played golf with him.
Yeah, and I've golfed with him. And I would be remiss if I did not mention
and
just
spaced off.
And what?
Nothing.
Oh, and if I didn't mention, because I took that article when I saw it, and I sent it to my cousin Kurt, who was also in the tournament with us, and him and Jerome became buddies, and went out and so Jerome took an interest in cousin Kurt's wife too, so they ended up not talking that much, but that's a story for another time. Rest in peace, Jerome, Kevin, all you Blazers. That's the last time I was into the NBA was 90s, late 90s, maybe early. No, I don't even think.
Yeah, I used to be huge. I'm still a Blazers fan. I'll always love the Blazers. But for me, it started dwindling like after they got rid of Terry Stotts as their head coach.
Mm-hmm.
They traded off C.J. McCollum. Nurkic is gone. And then so I was hanging on to Damian Lillard.
Right.
Just because it's like, okay, it's Damian Lillard, and which I'm still a fan of Dame, even though he's no longer with the Blazers. And then when they traded him, when they released him, and it just kind of, I was just like, all right, this is going to be one of those franchises that for the next 10, 15 years is going to be bottom of the barrel,
trying to build up.
They'll probably get sold. I mean, let's be honest here.
Yeah,
I'm sure Jody Allen's going to end up selling them to somewhere that wants team, probably Las Vegas. Something like that. Or maybe they'll go back up to Seattle and be the Supersonics, but I doubt it.
Yeah. Like Sean Kemp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's all I got for sports.
What else? There's not really much else going on, is there?
No.
We are inching ever so close to January 20th. We got Inauguration Day coming up, which happens to fall on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, in remembrance of him, Dr. King. We're kind of at a lull in the world right now.
That's okay.
We got NFL playoff football. That's really the only exciting thing going on.
Yeah.
Anyway, you have something very interesting.
For show and tell this week, wanted to give a shout out to K-Dog El Papa for this book that he sent to me, Viking Warrior Cults, Berserkers, Ulfennathers, Svikenlankens, and Weapon Dancers by Peter Jennings. So I haven't had a chance to dive into it yet, but anything Viking I like. And so that was one show and tell. And don't forget your Pepsi's there if you're thirsty.
Oh, yeah. Wait,
and then the other thing was, and just a shout out to a guy I used to work with him. His name is Michael Verdon. I don't know all his social media stuff, but anyways, he's kind of a woodworker guy. His hobby is woodworking, and he's done stuff for me over the years. And then he called me up the other day and he goes, "Hey, you want these coasters? A lot of people are getting into that, like etching,
Yes.
And so anyways, this is what he's doing, and it's
so are they made out of like stone?
Yeah. So so I bought these for my dad. So if he watches this episode, these are yours actually coming your way. But
I like this. I like these. These are...
So yeah, there's 4 of them, and they each have a different scene.
Oh.
So
that's my favorite right there.
But yeah, these are that slate or whatever. They're really nice. Now he did tell me he's a woodworker, but he goes, I did outsource the box. He's like, I didn't want to do that, but
nice box.
Yeah, I think I paid not very much for it. I mean, it was a real good deal, because that's cool. And I like to support people that are doing hobbies, crafts, art. It's their art. So that's my show and tell this week.
Very
throw
cool.
that out there.
I should have brought. I was going to bring it. Have you ever read any of the Uncle John's bathroom reader books?
No.
They are incredible.
Really?
So I found one years ago in like a rummage sale or a yard sale, and I was like, oh, this might be something to toss behind the toilet, and I started reading it, and it's like it has all these like bizarre history facts. It's got weird statistics, like origins of things. So I bought the most updated version, and it finally came in the mail earlier this week, and I've been kind of trying not to get too heavy into it because I don't want to read it too fast.
Right.
Because
then you're done with it. Yeah.
Then I'm done with it. But yeah, it's just got great information.
Do you sit there until like your legs?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I read like 25 pages one time, and
went to stand up and you couldn't.
Oh yeah. Especially and then double that up with the lame leg that I got going right now,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's
Hey, you haven't pooped yourself since the last episode.
nope, have
Okay.
not.
Good,
Have
good,
not.
good,
Been,
good, good.
Been very clean.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. I worry about you. You know.
Well, it's something that men go through.
Yeah.
Especially as we get older. You know, it's nothing to be ashamed of,
No,
guys.
no. It's
It
a
really
disability.
isn't. It is at times. You know, there are times where we say, everybody says don't trust a fart, but there's just times where you have faith in your sphincter that it's going to stop at the right time.
You shouldn't have faith. Yeah.
Really, it's, sometimes
My wife says that females don't do that. I disagree.
I
I
disagree
mean,
as
maybe
well.
she hasn't, but I'm like, come on, really?
Yeah, I'm not going to out any females that have,
No.
soiled themselves, but it happens, folks.
We were at work that one time, and that gal farted. We won't mention her name. She farted though.
God damn, that was funny.
That was funny, and she started to just keep going over it, which was fine with me. I wasn't going to say anything, but Joe lit up like a 10-year-old at Christmas. His face went. I guess I should tell the story.
Yeah, go ahead and tell the story. This is
we're at
great.
a work function, and
great.
there's lots of us there, and we're all talking. We're sitting on chairs, and we're working, doing stuff, and it's chaotic. But this person was talking to us, and then she never stopped talking. She just kept on, and it was so right there,
Because
and
we were this close.
yeah, and I didn't even flinch. The problem is that I looked at Joe, and he immediately just does this. He's looking, and he's listening to her talk, and he goes, he slowly smiles. He looks over at me to confirm that someone else heard it. And I had to put my head down. I didn't. But anyway, sorry. I know we're.
Well, and I think where I finally lost it is this gal says, "Sorry, that was me."
Yeah, she didn't even, and she was mature about it.
Yeah,
but,
very mature. I mean, everybody does it.
But you can't do that. I mean,
It's funny though. It's so funny when a fart comes out when you're not expecting it. It doesn't like. For instance, I'm coaching my middle daughter's grade school basketball, helping coach.
all right.
And we were all circled up around the middle of the center court, talking about, the ins and outs of basketball. And one of the little girls was kind of bouncing up and down because they do that.
Yeah.
And just like a little, like a real squeaker.
Yeah.
And everybody stopped and it got dead silent. And the other coach who's a teacher there, bless her heart, it's like it happens, guys. It's okay. It happens. And I start laughing.
Yeah,
I start giggling.
No, do not do that around me. I may
can't
be.
help it.
I'm not mature enough for that. Horses when they fart, I smile
Hilarious
because they're so
Dogs.
powerful. Dogs, yeah.
Sven cracked one off the other night. I was middle of the night. I get up to go get a snack, and he was sleeping on his back like this, and he does this quick little twitch to get up, and it's like a little came out, and I laughed uncontrollably for 10 minutes straight.
Yeah,
I couldn't look at
Same.
him. I couldn't look at him. He would just stare at me with his little doe corgi eyes, and I'm just, all I can think about is like, dude, you just out loud farted on me.
yeah. And then us laughing and giggling like that, it makes me think kind of the next topic I wanted to get into, funny work stories.
Okay.
Now, I just was gonna. I know you and I could go on all day about, because we've worked other places, and but I mean, can you think of a handful of stories? Because as we were talking here, I was thinking to myself, so I'm going to focus on a time that I worked for a county that I live in.
Okay.
And the giggling thing, okay, you got to be mature, you're a professional.
Mm-hmm.
So I am with my coworker, and we're going on site, we're doing field work, and we go to a manufacturing a plant that manufactures food items, and we're going to inspect the buildings. And so then they tell us, okay, that's fine, but you got to put on those nets and all this stuff, right? And he and I are standing there in this office, and we're fumbling around. They're giving us all this stuff, and he had a beard like you, so he had this, and we got to giggling, right? Like little kids, because we looked at each other, and, we were just so awkward and dumb. And I still think back on that. we loved it. It was fun, but I was also terrified because I'm like, no, I'm running. I'm like, this is my project. I can't be. But I couldn't look at my coworker the entire time because for some reason, 14-year-old Les was getting the giggles. So that's a prime the pump. What do you got?
So I'll start off when I was working for DHS, and we had like a big district-wide like teleconference in our back room or whatever. And my supervisor at the time, who's still a very, very, very good friend of mine, mutual friend of ours, Mr. Warner, and
Michael?
we were doing these exercises of like opening up and being sensitive and things like that. And I don't know if it's like an awkward anxiety thing. Like those situations make me extremely uncomfortable. Like those kumbaya, hippie commune, like let's come together and hug thing. It makes me uncomfortable. And so the instructor who was there, one of the trainers, read this thing. Okay, now we're all gonna think, and somebody's gonna come up and volunteer their answer. Mike, why don't you come up? And so Mike goes up to the front, and I had to go to the back of the room. Mm-hmm. They made that clear from the very start of the meeting that I had to be in the back of the room. And anyway, the question that this person asked Mike was, what is something from your past that you miss and wish you had today? And without missing a beat, without even letting him take an inhale to make his statement, I yelled from the very back, hair! Because he's like me, Mike is follically challenged, and he has selective alopecia. Yeah. And anyway, the whole room just erupts, right? And I could just see our main boss, our district manager, just he was chuckling. It was funny. It made him chuckle, but he was not happy with me.
Yeah. No,
he was not. He was not happy with me. So that's one time. And at the same job, and for the sake of confidentiality, I'm not going to say any names.
Right, exactly.
But
we're making a lot of people nervous right now.
Yeah, I investigated at one time. I investigated allegations of abuse, neglect, financial exploitation, blah blah blah, with elderly and disabled folks. Okay.
Beautiful.
And anytime there was an incident that happened at a care facility, like either a nursing home or senior living or anything like that. We would have to go investigate and make sure that the facility did everything in their power to either remedy the issue or prevent the issue from happening or whatever. Okay? Right. And so the allegation is that these two residents had gotten kind of tangled up together with each other and had fallen. And when they were found, the gentleman was stuck on top of the lady on the little bed in the resident's room or whatever.
Right.
Pants down, and caught in the act. But what had happened is he had tried to engage.
Yes.
In coitus, and anyway, he lost his balance and kind of fell on her and couldn't get himself off of her, and it was kind of just laying on her, and so they had to pull the help cord. And anyway, and so I go and I investigate, and I go and talk to the gal, and she's the sweetest little old lady, and she's just embarrassed as hell that this even happened, right?
I feel like that would be kind of tough on you too, though.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Awkward, bro. And
because Grammy and Grandpa.
Yes, I mean we're talking. One was an octogenarian, one was a nanogenarian. All right, okay, 80s and 90s. All right, and I go and talk to her, and she's just like, "Oh my gosh, I am so embarrassed that this happened. It was just kind of spontaneous." Like, gave me the rundown. I'm going to spare her the embarrassment, even though I'm not going to name who she is.
Yeah.
But basically gave me the rundown. I said, okay, well, I'm so sorry that happened. It sounds like, it was just an accident, But this is where the story gets funny. And I go and talk to the gentleman who is, like I said, is a nanogenarian. And this dude you knew that back in his prime, he was a leg hound.
Yeah.
Like, this guy, he'd been married like 7 times. He had like, I don't know how many kids, in different marriages. And anyway,
wow.
And I go to talk to him, and I go, hey, sir, how you doing? He goes, well, I know why you're here. I'm not doing very good right now. And I said, no, it's okay. You're not in trouble. He's like, I'm not worried about being in trouble, son. He says, have you ever, gotten really excited for something and then worked yourself up to it, and it was finally going to happen, and then it just failed miserably?
Oh, boy.
And I go, yeah, I've been there a time or two. And he goes, and then to top it off, my dick didn't even get hard. And it was that statement right there, and I just kind of, sucked my lips in like that. And he goes, and I was ready too. He's like, I had the pill, I had popped it, and I thought it was gonna work. And the moment I lost control and fell on top of her, it all went away, and I just laid there as limp as a noodle.
Oh my goodness!
And it was at that point that the laugh came out. And I started giggling, and I was for sure thought I was going to offend this old gentleman.
Right.
No. He starts like wheeze laughing with me about it. And we go from talking about this incredibly uncomfortable situation to wheeze laughing about it to then talking, he starts telling me stories about his time, in Europe and all the women that he would meet at the brothels and everything, from these
and that's
countries.
You're going, okay, now I'm seeing how this is all.
So anyway, long story short, the facility was obviously at no fault for what had happened. The two, I don't know if they ever did complete their mission, but there's like, so do you want us to keep a closer eye on them? And I'm like, well, I mean, no, they're consenting adults. They can, if they want to go into somebody's room and scrog, that's their prerogative.
It's impressive, really.
But I mean, if they're around each other, you might stick a chair nearby in case you're one hollering for help. But
keep your.
But anyway, so those are two
nice
funny work stories, and I'm sure there's more, especially in our Zoom or Teams meetings.
Yes.
Work backgrounds.
We used to work together.
Yeah.
And
there's got to be some good ones there.
There's a ton. I mean, one thing for me that I remember funny is that I was sitting out back during a morning meeting with the entire team, and I'm looking at the computer as it's looking at me and all the little faces in Teams, and I see Jack, my dog Jack, taking a dump in the back there.
Awesome.
And so that was always kind of funny. But probably the job that I have, or when we work together, the funniest thing that ever I thought was you were doing an investigation on somebody, and due to legal jargon, I'm not going to get into all the details, but basically somebody didn't disclose something, and they didn't really have to. And I'm learning the job, and I'm watching your face. And this guy, you ask him the question, something to the effect of, have you ever been incarcerated or in jail longer than whatever? And he says, well, yeah, I was in Walla Walla Penitentiary for 3 years. And in my mind, I'm learning this job in background investigations, and I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, well, we can't hire people that have actually been in prison, can we?
Not in a security
and the
position.
answer was clear on Joe's face when his eyes, because back then we did the things by phone, the interviews by phone, and so your face just got huge, and you were like, now, and then started to put it together, and then but that was always one of my favorite moments, just being a fly on the wall and thinking and watching you, being like, what the? So I thought that was funny. What?
Yeah, and I remember a lot of like really good like one-line burners to people that I would give.
Oh God, yes. I could never interview anyone around you. Never. It's because you always put a little tweet in my ear or something.
What was the one where you were looking at that gal's picture, and I said probably not?
Oh God, no.
What was that?
Yeah, no. She.
Oh my God, that was horrible.
I asked if. I think it was the question if she'd ever had any stalking orders or restraint.
It had something to do with if you ever engaged.
Oh, in sexual activity at the workplace. And this guy, because he hears it because I'm doing it over intercom, and he's like, I seriously doubt it or something. Probably not. And I'm looking at, and, oh God, no. I can't.
We've seen some shit, man. I mean, guys, it's like, okay, I need a profile picture of you. from shoulders to the top of your head, no glasses, no hat, like a driver's license photo.
Yeah.
And we got dudes that'll be like, like me, backwards cap on, no shirt.
Yeah.
Doing
this
like
is your
duck
application.
faces and shit.
Yeah.
It's like you're trying to get a government job to work in a penitentiary, and you're going to send a picture of you like you're on Grindr.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they hire them, and it's just like, Jesus, and I'll see them, because I work there as a counselor, and I'll see some of these guys, some of them with the shirtless pictures, and I'll just be like, yeah, dude, I really want to I want to like take your picture and plaster it around the institution, but I can't do that. But
here's one for you. So I was given somebody was added to my caseload that had been passed around with other background investigators because the person had just tons of difficulties completing what he needed to complete in the process. And so by the time he gets to me, everybody's saying, good luck, whatever. So I immediately open it, and when I look at it, and at this point, all these things have been done. Several investigators have looked at it. I open it up, I look at his picture, and he's got a beard, like kind of like yours, but I'm looking, I'm like, this dude don't have a shirt on.
Nope.
And I opened the JPEG and zoomed in. I could see freckles and stuff. He didn't even put on a shirt for his photo for the application for a government job. So yeah, we could go on all freaking night about those weird people.
Or the ones that, that's like you just can't figure out how to use an electronic device.
Yeah.
How many times have we had to say, hey, just so you know, if you go to log in from your phone, it's going to lock you out. It's not mobile compatible. Please use a laptop, tablet, or desktop computer.
Right.
But no, well, can you reset my password?
Won't come up on my phone.
It won't come up on my phone. I'm locked out again. Sent from my iPhone.
That's a good one. Here's one. Actually, I'm going to bounce back to a different career, back to county, working for the county.
Okay.
I was in the field working, and I went to this, out in the middle of nowhere, this little single wide trailer. Somebody had put a single wide trailer on this desert property. I knocked on the door. Guy answers he can't speak English, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, and I just want to get my information, get out of there. But anyway, he signals me to come in, and I'm like, should I do that? In my mind, I'm thinking I probably shouldn't go in. So I go in. He takes me to the back bedroom. There's nothing in this trailer but like a couple of boxes and some food wrappers. Go in the back, and there's a mattress on the floor. He's behind me. And then when we walk in the room, this dude was laying on the mattress, and he flips the blanket over and looks at me, and he spoke English. And I said, asked him whatever questions I had needed to ask him. And it was just a surreal moment, because I'm thinking to myself, I'm so uncomfortable right now. This guy's in bed. I'm standing here. There's another dude behind me. I mean, it was very uncomfortable. But I should have told this story. Let me just one more, and I'll shut up.
I got one more, too.
Okay, good. We'll finish on yours.
Okay.
That same job, speaking of English, I just want to pass this along. So I go to this lady's house, and I was there because she had built a shop. Her and her husband had built a shop. And so I was there to get some pictures and inspect this building. And when I knocked on the door, and I told her who I was, identified myself, and said what I needed to do, and I had a coworker with me, she told me she didn't speak English. No English, and I tried, and we had some tools that we could use, but she just couldn't understand. And so I said, can I just get a picture? And well, whatever, and so I took a picture of the building. I did what I had to do, and I got, say, an hour later, I've been to a couple other properties doing my job. I go to a commercial property. It's an office, just a small office. I open the door, and who's working as a receptionist and is on the phone? Thank you for calling so-and-so. How may I help you? Yes, one moment, please. And I'm looking at her, and she looks at me, and then she just was white as a ghost. She spoke perfect English. I was at her home, and by chance, I went to her place of employment, where she speaks perfect English. And yeah, that was awkward. That was really awkward.
That's weird. That's funny. Okay. So mine, this is back another DHS story. I had gotten a call that a disabled gentleman, wasn't very old, but he was disabled, living in some apartments downtown. That there was a gal, a known drug user, that actually had a warrant out for her arrest that was supposedly taking advantage of him and using his food stamps and all this crap, right? So I go to this guy's house, and I go to me. I mean, it's one of those places that you feel like you need to put booties on before you go. It's gross. I mean, the dude definitely can't take care of himself, but you can't force him. But anyway, moving on. And I'm talking to him. I'm asking him about this gal, and I said, "Do you know this guy?" So, yeah, I know her. She's my friend. And I said, "Okay, well, we got reports that she's taking advantage of your disability benefits and using it to purchase things for herself, such as drugs and other needs."
Right.
And he goes, "I gave her the money. And I go, "Okay, well, you know that using that money for that purpose is fraud. You can't do that." and and I go, "The police are looking for her too, and you don't want to get wrapped up with her,
Right.
And so you should probably. Is she here? No. She's not here. I haven't seen her in a while." And I'm like, okay. Well, if you see her, please let me know.
Yeah.
And about that time, I go to open the door. So I open the door, and I forgot that I'd left my pen on the counter or something. And so I close the door.
Oh, my God.
And I go to grab my pen, and she pops out from behind a recliner that was in the corner of the room.
Oh, my God, Joe.
And just like, "Is he gone yet?" And just raspy voice, no teeth, probably 85 pounds,
No
4'10". And
That's hilarious.
Oh, it scared the dog shit out of me. I'm like, "Jesus, why didn't you tell me there's a tweaker behind the chair?"
Yeah.
And
talk about awkward.
And I'm like, "Wait a minute, is that her?" and she like takes off running or whatever, and I'm just like,
beat her up?
What?
Did you beat her up?
Fuck no, I got out of the way. God, she came running at like when you see a cat and you trap it in a corner, or a raccoon, and it comes out after you.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's what it reminded me of. But she just popped out of there like a little spider monkey. "Is he gone yet?" Oh my God. Scared the crap out of me. And so of course my duty was to report it to law enforcement that she was seen at his apartment. And so I don't know that she got arrested eventually, I'm sure. But God, dude,
that's a good one though.
Because scared the shit out of me.
And then how funny, she really was freaking there,
Yeah, she was
you
there
guys
the whole time.
Would you like me to rewrite what I wrote down? Your answer was to that question,
Yeah. Oh God. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's good stuff.
It is fun. It's fun to go over those stories. I know everybody's got them, and I've worked in a couple fields, so you have them everywhere you go.
Yes, and one of these episodes, we'll put like a little disclaimer at the beginning, because I've got some, as you probably do as well, working with mentally ill.
Yeah. Yep.
We got some stories there.
Some great stories there. Some of the best years of my life were working with people with developmental disabilities.
Yeah, I didn't put in the amount of time that you did. Working in that field, but I was there long enough for it to make a lasting impression.
Yeah, I will.
My hat's off to those of you who do work in the mental health field or the developmental disability field, anything like that. My hat's off to you. That is very, very tough work, but it can be very, very rewarding at the same time. So.
Which sounds fake, right? I mean, people could be like, "Okay, yeah, that's the old," but God, that's so true.
Yeah. One day they want to claw your eyes out, and the next day you made them the happiest they've ever been in a while, and then it's just like, okay, I forgive you for throwing feces at me.
Yeah, exactly. I still, I got a handprint where you slapped me yesterday, but
but what's weird is that if you slap me and I threw poop at you, we probably wouldn't forgive each other the next day.
No,
we'd probably be mad at each other for quite a while.
Yeah,
which is funny, but in that field, you got to put a different hat on.
You do.
And you got to be like, okay, it's not them.
Yeah.
It's their illness. Yeah. But sometimes it's them.
Those were great times.
Yes.
I met my wife. That sounded bad. I mean, we met. She was. God. We started working there together.
I met my wife while working there.
Yeah. She was not a resident. Not a resident, but yeah. Okay, we better stop with those because that's a whole episode in
that.
and of
That
itself.
is, and that would be a fun one. Save it for another time.
Yeah. What do you got coming up this weekend?
So, not much really. We got a basketball tournament in the town of Helix.
Oh yeah.
First game's at 8:00 in the morning. I'd like to have a word with whoever makes these schedules. I don't know what makes people think that parents want to get all their kids up and get them ready for a basketball tournament.
Right.
Considering where I live, I'm gonna have to get up at 6.
Yeah.
To get ready for this. We got to be there at 7:30. So, but it's so much fun. It's so much fun watching the littles go out there and they're just there to play and have a good time. They don't care.
Yeah.
How many points they score. They don't care. They get so excited if their little friend makes a shot. It's great. But that's really the only thing I've got on the hook,
Some couch time, movies, whatever.
Oh God. I've watched so many movies though.
I know you were saying that last episode that you've went through so many.
You know what? I'm probably going to read.
Yeah, I need to do that. I'm getting my book build up.
Yeah, I'm going to probably read a little bit of my Uncle John book. I've got a couple art projects that I started many moon ago that now that I'm more mobile, I would like to maybe put a little work into, similar to what I've done for you, but just in a larger
Yes,
piece.
yes. You carved a hand carved sign. I had it up here for a while. I moved everything around, but yeah, it says Les's Surf Shop that he carved for me. It's a cool sign. You've made some cool signs. Yeah, it's good to get into that.
It is.
That's good for the mind.
It's a good outlet, and you know what's great is, you and I both are lovers of music. We incorporate music into everything we do in our lives. But there's something about woodworking and listening to bluegrass that just is like
coffee and crumpets. I mean, it just goes together.
Oh, tea and biscuits, bro. It is.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And so if you're a woodworker and you listen to this podcast, and just try it. You may already listen, but listen to some good bluegrass. I'm talking with the banjos, the fiddle, the upright bass, the mandolin, the real country style vocals, real honky tonk style vocals.
Yeah. Bluegrass musicians are no joke.
Oh man. And just listening to that as you're, running a router through the grains of the wood, it's just,
you ever touch it? Just really.
Yeah. And then you get the smell.
Touch the wood.
You get that. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Hold it.
Just hold it.
It's birch.
Yeah, I mean, it's
East Peruvian birch.
You get the router bit, gets kind of hot, chewing up some of that hardwood, and you get that kind of that wood smell. Oh, it's just it fits.
Everybody's. I got a buddy I went to high school with a couple blocks over, and I drove by his house the other day just by chance. I looked over and I saw him. He's recently retired, and I saw him under his little carport working on wood projects. And so, dudes, we all have our own little projects we're working on. And
yep.
I was doing leather work for a while. I put my leather stuff away. I made you chaps and the things that you like to do for your alternative lifestyle. And but yeah, I go through phases. Sometimes I feel like doing it. Painting. We were painting a lot there for a while, both of us.
Yeah, I that's another thing that I would like to get back into a little bit more, is get back into
nudes.
Acrylics, and in fact, I know I've got several of your pieces hanging in my. Let me see.
Oh, you've got that. Yeah,
the Kraken, the octopus one. That one's badass. I'm gonna bring that one of these times and show you, because this guy's very humble when it comes to his art. He doesn't think he's that good.
Release the Kraken.
He's really good. So one of these days I'm going to prove it to y'all.
No.
Yes.
There is. How's your mom and dad doing? I was thinking, we should do you should try to call her. Is she available for a call right now?
No, I think they're doing something today.
I know something I want to tell you. And my God. So we played guitar for the intro. We did that last episode, but I screwed up. I told the story, 100 times. But I'm telling you, if you watch the last episode, by the time it was the 4th time that I had done the intro, strange news, all that. And it was funny because it started off one of the best podcasts. Me, you, just everything was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
We hit some
Then-
nuggets for sure.
So that was the first time I did it.
Yeah.
Then I realized that I didn't have the audio really for it, so I didn't want to play the whole thing like that. So then I tried to do like me do an intro solo sitting here, and that took 3 times to get right. And by the time I kept drinking a beer, the last one I did, I'm like, anyways, words of wisdom. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye. Yeah, I was just wore out. I mean,
And
so
drunk.
yeah, well, definitely buzzed. We need one more person here to do our IT stuff.
That would be yeah.
Let's before we go, then let's see if, speaking of that, let's see if we can cold call Pork Chop. Let's see here. You can tell a joke while we're waiting.
Okay.
Let's see here, Kevin.
God, I don't really know it. Why
Let's
can I never pull a joke out right off the top of my head? It drives me crazy.
see if we can get him to cold call. He's probably still at work. He's a bridge inspector.
Answer me these questions.
Hello?
3.
Yes, am I speaking to the original Pork Chop?
One and only.
Hey, Pork Chop, you know who this is. This is Grub Burner calling you live from Sonomans Sideshow Podcast. I got Joe the Legend Burns sitting next to me, and we just...
Oh, Big Joe.
What's up, Pork Chop?
What's up, Joe?
We thought we would go ahead and just randomly call you and see what's going on down there in Southeast Texas. Any snow yet?
Not yet. Coming.
It's coming. It's hard to believe.
Yeah. Yeah, it won't be much and it won't stay, but
Yeah. Are you inspecting bridges today?
I'm stuck in traffic
Yeah.
right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Any big plans for the weekend?
I'm going to see a band in Houston,
Oh, which band?
The Storm.
The
Storm. Okay.
Check them out.
Right
Okay.
on.
Well, what kind of music are they?
I guess I reluctantly use the word stoner rock.
Okay. Okay, I can appreciate that.
Kind of along that line, desert rock. I
Oh,
guess.
yeah.
So,
Awesome.
Right
The
on.
Storm. I will check them out.
Are you you cooking up anything special this weekend on the Bobby?
No, we'll be in Houston all weekend.
Right on.
Now.
Okay.
Pork Chop, what part of Texas you live?
It's considered southeast Texas. I'm right on the coast at the Louisiana border.
Nice.
Yes.
I bet that's
Yeah, I'm
beautiful.
About an hour and a half east of Houston.
Right on.
That sounds lovely.
All right. Well, I'll let you go. I just wanted to make a random phone call and see if
Great.
I couldn't get you on the line, touch base before we finish the episode. So thanks. Take care.
All right. Thanks for calling.
Bye, Pork Chop.
See you, Pork Chop.
All right. Later.
God.
Yeah. It's funny. I cannot believe it. I'll have to find it.
Yeah. Maybe you can always add an editor for the next episode.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. But yeah, it was a good one. Anyways, yeah. So I guess we could wrap this thing up. You got any words of wisdom before we finish, and then we'll play out?
No, it's a new year. It's we've reached a quarter century of the 21st century. So let's make the next quarter century good, folks. Huh?
Yeah.
Let's be kind to each other. Let's be good to each other, and let's make the world a happy place.
Just very happy.
Very happy.
I think this is one of those things, going back to how it took me 4 times to make one podcast, and I'm
gonna get ready for the outro.
And so I was going to say this. I was planning on quoting this last week, but I don't think I did, at least not by the final episode or final take. So this one's from Ernest Hemingway, and this goes along with me sitting there drinking that beer. Always do sober what you said you'd do drunk. And dang it. Always do what you said you'll do. Always do sober what you said you'd do drunk, and that will teach you to keep your mouth shut. So I was like, right on. That is That's a true statement, but I can't remember if I used that last week or not. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap. I want to thank my sponsors, Bill Murphy Roofing. I'm just trying to do this off memory. You know who you are. My beautiful sponsors that help me provide this amazing show free to the people. Thousands and thousands of views. Oh, I grabbed the wrong one. That's Steve's. I meant to do this one. I can't play either one, but thanks for joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe. Catch us next time.